In 6 days, I learned 984 words from the mystery thriller book And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, and I didn't want to admit it, but I was hooked from the first few pages. It's a game changer for me. My name is Amyothanes, and I'm going to tell you about the best way to learn vocabulary that I've ever come across. It's a simple system that anyone can use. So let me show you how it works based on my progress reading this thriller book. So come with me as we go on an adventure through this amazing story. What is the book? I found myself captivated from page 1 by the mystery that unfolds in Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. It starts as a regular dinner party with 10 people who are all strangers to one another, but they're lured together by an unknown host. While they're waiting for the mysterious host to appear, a mysterious voice levels serious accusations at each of the guests, and soon they start being murdered, one by one. As the survivors try to keep their wits, they reach a disturbing conclusion. One of them must be the killer. This book had me on the edge of my seat as I tried to figure out who was the killer. How did I sentence mine? In other words, how did I learn all of these words from the book? This was my procedure. Firstly, I got the German translated book on my Kindle. A list of my favorite Kindles is in the description. I recommend using Kindles, and check the video recommended at the end to know why. Secondly, I read a chapter of the book while looking up words I didn't know. Make sure you have the Kindle's vocabulary trainer feature on. It saves words that you look up, as well as the words sentence and book. This is all useful information when you're going to be doing Anki cards. Thirdly, at the end of each chapter, I would go to the vocabulary trainer, and instead of normally train using these Kindle flashcards as Amazon originally designed it to do, it's not even an SRS, I would manually get each word and add it to my German Anki deck, along with the sentence as context and the book, as well as its page number and chapter. It can get quite confusing on where this word came from when you have a whole pile of them. And if you're the type of guy, there's a way to do this automatically, where you can export your vocabulary trainer words using VocabJuice Kindle Exporter. I'll link that in the description. Also, here's a list of all the Anki flashcards I've made based on the book. You can see that there are a lot, but they're super fun to make. And finally, after adding all the words and clearing the vocabulary trainer, before starting the next chapter, I would make some effort to also track all these words to continue pursuing my progression. This is useful if you want to look back at your progress to get extra motivation. So how did I keep track of all these words? Firstly, I got a sophisticated note-taking app called Notion, highly recommended. Secondly, I assumed that you don't know how to use it, so I linked a tutorial in the description. Thirdly, I created a Notion database called Bibliothek, or library. This is how it looks like. All the books I've ever read in my target language are registered here. So here's Agatha Christie's mystery book. If you click on the book, you can see a table with egregious amounts of information. I made a table for each chapter. There's information such as the number of unknown words that I've added to Anki, the chapter's total percentage of the book, the date goal to finish my chapter by, new words by percentage ratio for comparing chapters, and the dates such as the start date and the end date. At the end of the table, you can see the total amounts of words that I've added to Anki and learned. So here it says 984. If you look at the total range of the dates, you can see that it took me 6 days to complete this book, from February 11 to February 17, 2021. Here's a visual timeline of my progress by date. If you're interested, here's a timeline of the 5 books on the library shelf. You can see that The Hobbit took forever to complete, and Then There Were None was finished lightning fast in comparison. Then it continues until my current book, where, because it's not finished yet, it doesn't have information on the end date. If you've liked this video about reading in a foreign language, then you'll like my other video, where I go more in depth on different strategies. And don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss any of my videos, just like this one.